right, so I am here with Eric Salerno from Yuba County, and it appears that we're going to have a new Human Solution chapter that is going to unify the community from all the way up in Marysville, all the way down to Southern California, where we tend to hang out right now. So, Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your case, and how the Human Solution, or how you are becoming a part of the Human Solution?
Well, when I was arrested and charged about 2 years ago in Yuba County, somebody mentioned that if I needed help, I might get in contact with the Human Solution. And so I found you, Joe. And since then, you've begun to help me with my case and spread the word. And I've seen with my own eyes how valuable that is in the courtroom, and how the support of others can give you strength and allow you to file motions, fire your attorney in court, whatever you have to do to defend yourself. And so I'm dedicating myself to continuing to spread that love and make sure that others who are fighting their cases have adequate defense, have adequate court support, and are able to bolster their defense and not be scared when they go into the courtroom.
Exactly. And one of the things that I've found as a defendant myself is that when you see somebody willing to stand up and fight, put themselves in harm's way, it helps the next guy that just got busted to have the strength to do it. And it's kind of like a cable tow where you hold your hand out, that guy's grabbing onto you. So I always feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'm hanging on to all the guys in front of me, and a bunch of guys are hanging on behind me, and we're all just kind of pulling each other up.
That's right.
And, you know, the other side of it is I believe that the people that we're inspiring to come and support, that's the key to this whole thing. And if we can get everybody to stand up at once and speak with one voice, you know, we have guys that are starting to run for public office, and we have guys that are starting political action committees, and we have guys that are inspiring lawyers to get out and outside their comfort zone. And why don't you tell us about the lawyer that we've just been working with?
Well, Michael Levinson is a lawyer that we've both decided to work with because we've seen in action his aggressiveness, his style of no plea deals, waive your time, make the courts pay attention to us if they want to take us to trial, make them do it within 60 days, and eventually I believe we can flood the court systems and change the dynamic of the prosecution status of constantly attacking medical marijuana patients, If it wasn't for gentlemen like yourself filing writs of appeal of mandamus, you know, we copied that style when I was denied my medical marijuana defense. It was the fact that I could hire the same lawyer you had hired with the same writ.
Right.
She could copy and paste my information in and file it within 10 days.
Exactly.
Those things are unheard of, and they definitely assisted me in being able to file timely.
So we're starting to combine our resources a little bit, and you know, we're talking about the Human Solution as a group, but we're really just grassroots. We're a bunch of people that are just standing together, saying, well, you know what, I'm like you, I think the same things. Well, let's just do it over here.
That's right.
You know, we don't have an agenda other than ending prohibition.
Yeah.
And fixing shit that's broken.
Yeah,
you know?
We can all help each other.
Exactly.
We can literally help each other.
We're educating and supporting. So now we go on to this topic that we keep hearing, jury nullification.
Yes.
You know, this applies always in federal cases, but even in state cases.
Absolutely.
I was convicted by a jury of my peers in a state case.
Right.
If jury nullification would have worked for me, I'd have not even be dealing with this crap.
Right.
So what tell us about jury nullification?
As far as jury nullification goes, I've seen it in action in my own case. When we were in the the day I was going to trial, they had the jurors sitting in the hallway, and people had actively handed them pamphlets as they were entering, whether they were jury pool or not. Everyone was handed a pamphlet. Sure enough, when I got upstairs, I saw a majority of my jury pool holding their pamphlet, talking about how they didn't want to be there, how they wish they could be home gardening. So I think once you begin to hand things out and they see that the public is no longer in line with the justice system stance on this situation, it begins to change their mind. I mean, who can vote against their conscience? Nobody.
Exactly. Making change by educating people. That's the answer to this whole problem.
Yes, definitely education.
So when we get out there and, we have this little solidarity ribbon we wear, and sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to wear your ribbon. And it's like, okay, fine, don't, but do something else.
Right.
It's all about doing something that gets your attention. Ask that question, well, what are you doing? What's going on? And gives you a chance to talk to them. When we're out there rallying, it gets people, well, what are they doing? Stops them for a second. What do you mean, no jail for pot? What are you talking about? And
we've done rallies, Joe, where we've gone around the Capitol doing a rally, and we've picked up members of the public doing our rally. What are you guys doing? We're doing this for the Oh, can I come?
We did that in Long Beach. We kept growing our rally just about every day. People come along and it's like, what? Really? You had a state card? Well, shit, I'll get in there too.
That's right.
And that's how this works. When we call ourselves the Freedom Riders, it's just like they did back in the 40s and 50s in the Civil Rights Movement. They hopped on a bus and they said, screw it, we're not worried about what your laws are. Why? Because they're wrong. They're bad laws. And we're doing the same thing. We're hopping wherever we got to go. We were ready to caravan up to Sacramento for you or Marysville, and we're going to do it when we have to. I will be at your case.
The 30th of this month.
Exactly.
I go back to trial. I have been allowed my medical marijuana defense because I filed a writ of mandamus and fired my lawyer in the courtroom, gave myself the time. They were corralling me to a trial, not allowing me due process, not allowing me
Try to do the same to me?
Absolutely. And that's where we have to learn from one another, and then we can continue. But if we don't learn from each other, we're stuck in the same situation.
Exactly.
So thank you, Jim.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll take this and use it to help other people learn.